Let's continue on with the Lion Knight's Castle by LEGO. This is set number 10305. It contains over 4,500 bricks. So, the last installment, we pretty much were working on this main area here. We left off at the top. So I'm thinking we're going to be finishing up this portion in this whole installment here. And we're going to be focusing on bags 11 through 13. So, let's pull these out here. I'm still using those as a bookmark. We haven't gotten to those yet. And that's what we'll be starting at right now. And so far, I've been pleased with the build. It hasn't been anything boring or dry. Actually, that's the exact opposite. It's been very exciting and relaxing to put together, especially when it's warm and rainy outside and all that stuff. And we're going to be focusing on probably completing up this manual today because I have another set that I have to finish up. And I knew when I was going to do this castle, I was going to get bombarded with offers. I had 2 offers that just came in that I got to start on. I've only started on the unboxing and filming the first installment of this specific set. So, not this one, but yeah. This one's got a frightened face and a smirk. Yeah, I need more of those type of faces, so this would be a great little addition. I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick here, and then we'll get started on the fun stuff, because I'm not that type of guy. I'm not going to spend 17 hours talking about this one minifigure. Alright, and I just got to find the hair. And I think almost half us little boys probably had this type of hair when we were little. The mop top. Okay, well, we got that out of the way, so the figure's done. And now we are going to be continuing back up here. So I always have to change the camera angle several times. So, you know, somebody had mentioned in one of my other videos that they were getting seasick. Guys and gals, I don't have 15 cameras with 20 million different angles. If somebody's going to get seasick, then so be it. All right, you know. Okay, that's what we're going to be focusing at there. So if somebody's going to get sick, you may want to, you know, consult with a physician first before you attempt to watch my videos. It's sad that I got to do the whole disclaimers now, like these are not to be construed as professional product reviews, because some people will complain about it. Anyways, though, let's get started on that. So I think we got rid of all the disclaimers. And yeah, we're going to be focusing on this part right here. And unfortunately, I am literally surrounded by sets and all sorts of stuff. So let me get my desk in order here, because I actually have to move this around here where we can work on just that. Okay, let's get going here. You know, I fixed the audio, and then, you know, like I said, somebody else has complained about something else. Nothing I can do there. Yeah, looks like this is probably the second half to the playroom. And don't have a lectern to hold my manuals, so I got to hold it in one hand and build with the other. So things might get a little sloppy here. And I don't think we're even... After this installment, we'll technically be halfway done with the build, because I'm covering... Because this will also, in turn, will finish up this one manual here, too. I'll have this manual done. So that's even better. So we'll have it done. And so far, though, like I've mentioned, I have been very pleased with the build quality on this. It's pretty strong. Like I said, you get what you're paying for so far. The only issue we had last time was the door crumbling the wall apart. That was kind of a chore to put together. And there's a round tile here. A quarter round tile. All these big pieces. And yeah, I gotta find one little bitty piece in this whole mess. All right. Okay. And then now we got to start putting in the interior for the floor. So I think it's a continuation of this building over here. Okay. The rug goes here. I'm just tacking that in right now to kind of position that. I don't want to have to take that out or anything, so I'm going to try my best. And yeah, I do sound a little stuffed up. Allergies have been playing pretty cruel on me lately, so I have to bear with it. And I plan a vacation, the last installment. Only to find out things are starting to take a sour turn. And I don't know, somebody's revving up their engine. Despite of gas in California being $6-7 a gallon, people still rev up their engines and just waste it. And then they complain later on that they can't afford the fun stuff. I only get in my car to go somewhere, the essentials, and that is it. I don't want to make the petroleum companies any richer than they already are. Some people don't care. If you want to flex your muscles, that's not the way I go about doing it. There's like a auto shop or something next door that, yes, this is a daytime build, but they'll rev up their engines half the time and they'll speed up and down the street to test brakes. I'm like, why don't you test that out somehow? And that's kind of dangerous out here. What kind of area do you live in? I live in a business district. Business residential. You can work out of your house. Well, now they won't let you have a new licenses out here. They're trying to make it into full residential. So whoever's got their business license, as long as you keep the original thing, you're fine. But they're trying to make everything residential out here. Means you can't have a horse in your backyard. You won't be able to have chickens. You won't be able to work from your home or have clients come over, and that'll be it. And I'm missing one more of those little scrolly things that fit there. So they're slowly taking away our freedoms out here. Anyways, I don't want to get into all that political nonsense. It's just how life is. Okay, I need 2 hands for this one. I got all this side of the table here I can't use, but I have to. I'm stuck over here. This side's easy to work on, because then I can just have this one go off to the side. But I can't do it like that here. Alright, so we got to make 4 of these. First things first, let's take care of all the gray stuff up here. Okay. So we're going to be focusing on that. I did get somebody said something on my thing that some of the background noises do bother them. They want to hear just my voice, nothing else. I'm sorry, guys and gals. I don't This is not in a basement. This is not in an isolated area. I can't just keep it pure quiet. You know, that's just how things are. Okay, so we have to make 4 of these. Remember last time I was making a couple of these and I got, you know, so I'm going to set that there so I don't have to look at the building guide. I can look at that real quick. And we're just going to build these up in bulk here. They're supposed to go up there. That method of wall is pretty strong for the most part. It's just putting it together is a pain. It looks good. It's just, I'll have to play around with that building technique myself. And that's it. Now, where do these go? All right, we're going to start right at the edge here. And they go like this. Yeah, they're kind of loosely in there right now, and then rotate these other 2 around. Of course, that's the only way they'll fit in. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's just how it is. And I don't have a light that goes this way right now. Although we found out with the window open, with the blinds open, it does make it work out pretty well. All right, now we're got to continue back over here, filling all this in here. I'm going to need that. I remember when I first came out here, you never really heard anything out here. It was really quiet. And it's not like that anymore, sadly. And a bunch of us neighbors out here. We don't mind the businesses too much, but it's just sometimes you'll get a bunch of riffraffs out here. Alright, we'll put that in the middle there. So it looks like bag 11 just finishes up the other half. I'm going to say this is probably the peasants' quarters. I don't know. The peasants. Oh, that reminds me. I had a Minecraft server, very first Minecraft server I ever ran. And I built my house on top of this big giant hill. And on this mountain, an icy mountain. And they always refer to, because I was the server owner, they always said, Jay, you're looking down on the peasants. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I said, oh, guys, it's kind of boring on top of my hill. There's nothing going on up here. And they're like, oh, it's always lonely at the top. Okay. I don't know what would be in there. So far, well, maybe it's a fireplace. What leads me to that is they got 2 of these cones here. So there's also a hole here. So I'm assuming there's probably a chimney that goes attached to that. And I'm missing another one of those cones. Ooh, I've never seen these letters in tan before. I've only seen those in white. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, I need 2 hands. My hand's getting tired of holding the manual. I mean, I could set it on the parts like this, but then I have to move it out of the way eventually to get to the parts. All right. Where's that little frying pan? And sadly, the cell I wanted from my game has been long since been expired. And I thought, well, because I wanted to buy it, and I thought, well, I'll just put my card back in my wallet. They lost the sale, not me. It tells you how bad I really wanted it anyways, but I was like, I was browsing Steam the other day, and I just thought, oh, well, that's going to go back in the wallet. I don't need to do that. There we go. Okay, so I got that portion done there. I'm just slowly working on this right now. So I got to make 4 windows with lattices, which are these. And then they go facing outwards. There we go. I got 1 in. Yeah. So this is a fun little set here. If you have the money to burn, would I recommend this set for somebody who's starting into Lego? I mean, if you have the coin to burn, yes. If you're not sure if you're going to like this hobby, then don't, because it, may be overwhelming for some. There we go. And the next step is we got to make 3 wall pieces, or 2 wall pieces. So let's build the walls next here. The manual's off to the side with the phone that has the running microphone. So that's where that's at. And I'm sorry if you can't see everything here. Sometimes I want to build in bulk, and I can't do that if I'm on camera a lot. But I'm trying my best to show all the steps. Rotate it. And okay, I got a blueprint now that I can look at. That's right, buddy. Just rev up that engine. Make those petroleum guys rich. We have a few people who drive EVs, and those are so cool. I'm in an area where people don't believe in the electric vehicles. They still like using the old gas out here. Now, I'm only one of 3 places that actually has a charging port for vehicles. I have one in my garage and one on the side of my house. I put those in there as an add-on. Sometimes I'll have a client that comes over and then they can just do a quick charge real quick. It always helps. But it's not metered though. Okay, so now I got to do some of the fireplace stuff, and these are mirrors. I wish I had an easier way to show you what I'm doing here. Maybe I can back this out of the way. Well, no, I can't. Maybe I can build them on this little rug here. And so we're going to do both of these real quick, because doing one at a time, I don't need to be dragging out the build any more than I have to. It's hard when you're pressed for time and you're trying to get review after review after review done. I just got done with like 27 reviews. This is just something fun, and I have more reviews. In fact, guys and gals, I have more Lego than I know what to do with anymore. And I've been thinking about my Lego room and how I like to set it up. I need to set up the room for such a way that I only have the parts that I use regularly closest to me. And the stuff that I very seldomly use will go into what we call the back room. So I don't have to see it and trip over it. Now I got to pick that up with everything falling down on me here. Yeah, but I knew though once I was going to plan that trip out, then things with work and family and stuff were starting to go on. I'm just like, do I have to wait for that day? It's almost like I'm married. That's what it feels like. Having the wife tell me what I can and can't do. All right. I think this goes here. But I'm like, my brain is so fried right now, I need to just relax. Doing the work computer programming, and now I'm doing the Lego stuff full time. I had a buddy of mine that wanted me to get into doing the instruction for surfing, doing surfing lessons. Just get my certifications. all that stuff. And he's like, you'd be pretty good at it. He goes, why don't you just do that? And I said, why? I said, make that a job? And he goes, oh, it pays real well and stuff like that. And, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. And there's, I think, a golden frog that goes on that. That's exactly what that is. Got to be a trophy or something else. We don't know what that is. And then this goes here. Maybe it's a pet frog. We don't know. A golden pet frog. Alrighty. So, let's see here. Looks like this is the top of the header for the fireplace. Yeah, if you're ever going to get into owning a business, trust me, even if you're the owner and the boss and stuff, you don't get a lot of time off like people think you do. There's no free time. You're on call 24/7 even when you're off. Sometimes somebody may need to call you. Even if you have an assistant, they still want to call you and ask for something. And yeah, that's the sad thing about that. I'm sorry you can't really see that. I might be able to change the angle up here. All right. And it looks like, oh, we got something here we got to read here. What is odd? What's this odd letter here on the table on with Lord Basil's seal on it? I don't know. The only thing odd about it right now is we can't see what's going on because this castle is on the left-hand side of the table and I got things rolling off here. And that's about as close as we're going to get to seeing it. Okay, prepare for seasick motion. Yeah, I remember back in the old days on YouTube, people would complain about the seasick stuff. And I'm like, it got to the point where I was like, you need to see a physician first before watching my videos. And it would offend a lot of people. I'm like, people were expecting Hollywood quality, top-notch video quality. At that time, I had an old camera that was filming 480 at 30 frames per second. And that was it. I didn't have the latest and greatest technology. And people were complaining about it. And all right, we put the letter up there. And then what is that? A stud flower? No, that's one of these things here. One of those quill pin things I gotta find. I'm really working close to the edge of the table here, and I'm hoping nothing falls on the ground. This is not really easy to build on. If I had a table to work on, it would be fine, but I'm partially on a couch and partially on, well, it's a bed, but I call it the couch. And then I'm partially working here. So now I got to find the, oh, it's white. Okay, I saw it. You know, why don't you get a big studio, Jay? Well, I'm working on that. It's just, things have been very busy lately. And it's sad I have to correct people on, this is not a job. Okay, so we got to put the mantle here. And like I said, though, I can't bend this anymore. You're going to have to just go with it and wait for the tour. I'm not going to spend half the time messing with the camera doing angles on this because I'd never get the build done if I did. That, my friends, is why I don't do live streams. Last time I did a live stream on something big like this, can you change the angle? Can you change the camera angle? And half the time was just changing the angle. And it was kind of like, I can't just keep doing that. Okay. That takes care of the fireplace. And looks like the next step is a bed. So let's get going on the bed here. maybe next time we'll be able to work on the next portion of the castle. And we'll see what we can do about that there. Ooh. I'm looking for more of those bows. Yeah, but you guys and gals would be amazed at how many people take this stuff so seriously, you know. Like these are just my reference videos. That's what they are. And you'd be amazed how many people say, well, why don't you make it more professional quality? I'm not a professional. I'm an amateur. I'm not a professional here by any means. All right. This is probably a new way to make a bed. Time I think of a 3-stud wide bed, I always think of a child's bed. And okay, what goes on these pieces here? And they use a white ingot for a pillow. That's not a bad idea. And then they have it sitting here. Well, if they had that raised up, would have been better. Huh. And for the legs on the top, maybe these are little posts on the top there. But what goes on the very top of that? Or is that like a headboard or something later on? Hey, at least it's something other than gray that we're looking at. Okay. And indeed, pretty clever here. They use one of these for the top of the headboard. And man, be careful resting your head on that. Man, that'll really wake you up at night. But in addition to that, they use some of these little party hats in gold for toppers. And be careful, you could break one of those little peg at the bottom here. You just want to kind of just slowly wiggle that in there. So that's what they did there. It's pretty cool, huh? And then the bed goes against the wall. So I'm assuming this is probably a child's room. You know, just by the colors and stuff. But I could be wrong. All right. Okay, so now we got to continue on with the wall construction here. Like, I don't think I've even really used any profile bricks. I got a few of them up here. Okay, we have a tile that rests. Oh, it doesn't rest in there. And there goes the pickup crew picking up the trash. All right, looks like we got a sliding door that may go in there. Maybe it's for a closet or something, or a secret door. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little sub-step here, so you may see me build off camera a bit. So let's get started with this. And let's build the hinges first, because it wants me to build the hinge parts. Alrighty. And then these go like this, where the little hinge bump is towards us. And we'll set that there because I got to make another hinge. How many hinges do I have to make? Just that one. I mean, we're running out of parts, obviously, so we're getting close. Oh, we finally get to use a profile brick. And once we're done with that, we gotta add a 1x3 on this corner here. Well, I gotta find it first. Hold up. Yeah, I'm missing, oh, maybe it's behind here. This is kind of getting cluttered in here right now. And I'm looking for an inverted slope. Okay, that takes care of step 4. And then 5 is obviously decorations. So let's start adding decorations to things. Okay, I don't know why it's so flexible. It shows it goes on here, but I don't know, it's just not making sense for me yet. So we're just going to slowly piece it together here. I'm looking for a tooth piece. I see the tile that I need, but I need this. I need a tooth. Oh, here it is. Sometimes these pieces get a little challenging to put on here. But for the most part, though, like I've said, this is not a bad little build. It's just expensive, especially for a new builder. And that's it. And then this goes right here. Alrighty. Okay, I think what this thing does is when you bend this, which is going to be impossible. Let's see if we can do it here. That's what it's supposed to do. Right there. It kind of goes in and out. So that's pretty clever there. So basically the frog is trapped inside there. So I guess when we open it up or we fold out the castle, it reveals that little hidden area. Alright. Alright there. There's a magic in this wall. Some extra sturdy will be required to get the bottom of this mystery. Okay, well, we will make sure it's really sturdy when we're done. Right now, we are going to finish up the mystery wall. Matter of fact, this would be pretty cool if you kind of combine this with the Scooby-Doo sets. And you can have a the mystery machine outside, and you can kind of have Shaggy and Scooby, Fred, Thelma, Daphne. They can go in here and explore that. And that goes over that too. Boy, that's really seamless. I mean, look at that right there. They got that really all seamed in. This is not sloppy at all. Okay. And they show this brick here with some profile bricks like that. Oh, I wish I was small where I can go through this castle. There we go. Oh, the walls start to come apart. And, oh, wait a minute. This is supposed to come out. I didn't see it, but you got to put that at the bottom. Remember to put your 2x3 in the bottom of that and set it in there. I think that's just to fill it in a bit more, to give it to finish up the track. Okay, now we're going to be focusing on this right here, which is this. It's like it's supposed to be the top hole and the bottom hole. Wait a minute, I've got it backwards. There we go. That top hole there, and then this one down here. And it goes right in here. See if I can get it to where you can see it better. That's what that's supposed to be for. Okay. Oh, and it latches right on above the fireplace, too. Okay, that's cool. We stop to do that one step, and then we're back over here again. Okay. And let's see here. 2x4 goes there. Then we can start anchoring down the wall here a bit more. And that's it. Just those pieces. Okay. Just about done with this bag too, so we're getting there. We are getting there. We are getting it done, folks. There we go. I just got a handful of pieces, which are just mostly vines, so we already know what's going to happen next. And it shows it being closed, and we're going to be putting the vines on there. So it's telling me to close it. Oh, that we can do. We haven't seen this side yet, and that's what it looks like right there. Something failed. Oh, it's our mystery man. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Imagine building a whole house like that. I may try that one day. You know, just getting the snot bricks, everything else I can get a hold of, but it would just be... if you're planning that, and then you're going to plan the roof for it, yeah, that's going to be pretty brutal. And then we need to rotate around here, and we need to fill all the rest of these in. So this one goes here. And it goes on the back. Shows it around here. Oh, it goes off of that. Okay. Well, first I got to get the little stub out of there, just enough for me to wiggle that in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Got that right in there. And then over here, all right, one of these. Yeah, I got to pick up a bunch more of these yellow stud flowers. They make great for like dandelions or daisies or something. I got one profile brick here missing, so I might have forgot something in here. So we'll see what's going on. There we go. Well, let's take a look here. Did we miss anything? Because I got a profile brick here just laying around. This is supposed to go right there. And I think it does. And that's pretty much about it. So, bag 11 basically just did the walls for the bedroom. That's pretty much what it was. And that's all the random stuff we have remaining. All right, now let's take a look at bag 12 here. And let's see what we got to do here. So it looks like it's the roof, so give me a few moments here to set up for the shot down here. And let me just do it like that. The roof, I'm assuming it's going to be about this size here. So let me get things set up here real quick. Okay. Now, let's see here. This castle's already getting big. Okay. At least now I can work normal again, not have to hold everything. And it looks like we're using these claw pieces for roofing. If anything else, though, this set's got a good build inspiration, so go figure there. So you get plenty of these in medium nougat. Well, the chore once again is to clean off the counter. Let me get all these over here. And then that's where we'll be focusing, right there. Alrighty. And we have to take... Yeah, this is... let's look for all those little small parts first, huh? I want to build the roof, not the chassis, not the trusses that go on it. And then there is a 1x2 plate. It goes right here in the center. Not too bad. Oh, that's right, I forgot. The lawn guys will be here, so guess what you'll have to hear? I'm sorry, guys and gals, you will have to hear it too. Oh, and today is January 11th, 2023. And yes, people still do their lawns out here at that time because everything's green. There we go. Yeah, so far this is going to look like a very heavily thick thatched roof. So yeah, we will see how this goes today. Okay. Now, I'm always looking for new ways to build roofs and stuff because roof slopes are just expensive to obtain anymore. And to piece together a roof system in 2023 is going to be pricey. So I'm trying to find other ways to do that. Now, of course, I could just stop the video and let the lawn guy do his thing, but I want to build. Okay, we are doing the second layer. Making sure, and that doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty rustic, like really rough. In fact, that's got a nice texture to it too, huh? Really nice texture. And then now we got a sub step. Why don't we just build it on there, because these 1x12s are pretty fragile, and that's probably why they're doing it flat on a table. All right. Yeah, last night I was watching a movie, an old one called, I can't remember what it was. It was like some kind of space alien movie. The Arrival. And I was just sitting there watching it. It was on my server, and I thought, oh, I haven't seen this in a while. So I sat there and watched. I thought, oh, I haven't sat down and really watched anything in a while. And that was an old movie, but I was like, cool. Never know, that could happen. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty cool, though. I mean, how would you do an outside corner? I don't know, but inside corners you can probably manage. Inside corners for plates are pretty tough. Outsides are not too bad. I'm sure somebody would probably cobble up something for that too. And we gotta put this here. And we gotta build another one here again. Probably just a different combination of parts. But I've been kind of browsing my servers. I've been browsing online to find some new stuff to watch. I'm mostly into like adventure, drama, suspense, thriller, horror flicks. Matter of fact, I'm the only one in my bunch, even in my family, that even watches the horror stuff. So when I watch those type of films, they don't want to be in the room. So I have to watch everything solo. I think there's a brick that goes back here and a profile brick here. So I don't know what we're doing with that yet. Maybe there's an overhang or something for that. Alrighty. And well, it's just one type of part. This goes here, and then there's a bunch of gray ones that go in here. So let me make sure. Let me read through this really slow here. I had some cold chicken the other day for lunch, and I just realized I ate all that up, so I don't have anything for lunch today. And I don't want to run out and get a burger. I'm lazy. I don't want to get a burger, and plus, yeah, I could just walk down there too. I have a walk down to In-N-Out and get a burger. Yeah, I live close to restaurants and stuff too, which makes it easy, for it's like a bachelor's dream out here. Whoops. And set that right there. Yeah, you notice I'm rotating it around. I'm mushing right in here just to make sure all that's locked in. Okay. And we have another one we got to build. So we're going to be building this up for a while. And I have a feeling we're going to be doing two halves because we still got plenty of parts left. So bag 12, I believe, is just the roofing for the, I don't know, peasants' quarters, child's room. I don't know. Okay. And a round piece here, just randomly sitting there. Well, first I gotta find one. Still haven't gone through like half these big pieces. And I'm looking for one little tile. There it is. And then this crowns off the top here. So yeah, if you really want to get gutsy, you could build a whole... I mean, imagine me building a 1960s house with this style of roof. I mean, it would be fully customizable, but yikes. That would be pretty brutal. Okay. We're going to be focusing there. So... I had somebody ask the other day, do I smoke? No. I was around somebody and they were puffing away and he thought I was smoking. I know that stuff's bad for you. And I will not get into tobacco. I know a bunch of people who do... Out here, smoking is like cool, you know. The kids are doing it too. And you get, even adults will kind of put the peer pressure on you and going, you should try it. It's good for relaxation. I'm like, no. Well, come on. Take a puff. No. If I want to take a puff, I'll ask for one, but no. I'm just like, I'll pass, thank you. Okay. I think it goes on this piece here. Right here, and you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. So let's focus it in. There we go. This is supposed to go on here. And what I'm gathering is that it lines up here. Okay, it fits right in this notch here. So that'll be our guide thing there. Now, how do you put that down in there? Just slowly press that in. I'm just pressing right here. Don't press on the top. I'm sure that's going to break apart if you do. And let's take a look on the inside here. Okay, I need to move these over here. Yeah. Right about there. And you got some, so that's playable inside too, and that's pretty good. Now I have a feeling we're going to be doing this side here next. So let's see here. Oh, we're not done quite right yet. Oh, this one's a little different. We're building it on site. At least I can fold this up and build it like that. Okay, so let's get going here. Oh, it's got some information here. We got to read that, huh? The roof should be kept, the chambers warm and dry. What an ingenious material, this straw. So using it as it's a straw-covered roof. I don't know, in my neck of the woods we use Spanish tiles for the roof. And this one, I believe, starts here. Is it overhanging? No, just like that. And then you got to stick a bunch of these here, and I'm sure it's going to lock that loose window in place too. How far do we go to the edge? Yeah, that's exactly where we go. Oh, this is really looking good. I like that. Really good idea. And okay, we got to change positions again. Now we're back down here. Okay. Sometimes you'll see me put a piece down there. And the reason being is I try to focus in on things. Sometimes I have to move the camera around and stuff like that. So you may see me just sitting things like that. Usually when it comes time when I'm off of video, that's what I do. And we'll need that anyways, huh? And this is like behind the scenes when I film stuff. And it's pretty similar to what I do with tutorials. It's a lot of stopping and going in tutorials. That's pretty much what it is. So I stop and I go when I'm doing tutorial work. Eventually I'm going to be moving to building guides more, so the build flow would be a lot easier. Yes, guys and gals, that may happen one day where I'll just be like, "That's if you want to build this, you're going to have to get the building guide." Not this model here. Lego has it on their website for free for you to view. All right, we got some teeth pieces. I'm always out on the lookout for teeth pieces. They make great valances for curtains, like the top valance for a curtain, you know, for drapes. So I always try to find these in different colors. Like, I'm mostly looking for pastels and stuff. But there you go. That's pretty cool. So there must be like a banner in there. And then, yeah. So I think honestly though, if you get this set, you're not going to be disappointed because you are going to get a good build experience out of this. Gray on one side, white on the other. But you're not going to be disappointed here at all. I think you'll enjoy this set. I have a friend that's been debating on getting it, and I'm like, so far what I have built, you will not be disappointed with it. Because he's like, oh, I don't want to spend that money. I don't know. I'm like, you are getting a killing building experience out of this. You're not getting something lame. It's not boring, because I want to build this. I got to do another set after this installment is done, and I have to put that together. And I'm not going to tell you what set it is, but the build experience is pretty good. But I want to work on this one. This is the set I want to work on now. So unfortunately, I have to do my vegetables before I do the dessert. Well, it was close. I called this a thatch roof, but it's a straw roof. And we're missing a spot here. There might be more that goes on top of that too. It's probably bag 13. Okay. You know, I could just set the manual up here. That's much better. That's much better now. All right, so now it's loose. It's bouncy. Bouncy. All right. And sub-step there. And 5 of these little things. I got a bunch of these in different colors and stuff. So, mostly earth tones. You know, you can also use these as wood shakes for a roof too. For like the old wood shake roofs that have been long since been banned out here. They do it just because of fire issues. I understand that, but Like this place had a wood shake roof on it when I got it, and it was in very poor condition. And at that time, the only options were composite or tiles. And I thought the Spanish tiles looked pretty cool on it, so I decided to do that. And I stuck the tiles on the house. And back in the old days, though, they used to have the lath for adding the roofing to the house. And now with the tiles, they pretty much used the sheeting, so they had to go in, they had to recoat the whole roof with the OSB board and put the roofing on top of that, which is nice. I still have the lath. When you go up in the attic into the crawl space, you can still see the old lath up there. But you don't see the asphalt. It was a budget way they used to do things back then. OSB didn't exist back in the 40s and the 50s. It just wasn't around. So that's what they did, and it looks pretty good. It looks good up there too. Kind of wish the whole thing was plywood like the newer houses, but they wanted to charge more to remove it. And plus, you know, that's just how it was, and I didn't want to blow a lot of money on it, on this place. So I just coat it over, because the weight of the tiles would not, the lath would not be able to support it. But I have what they call a cut and stacked roof, which means it's not trusses or anything like that. And that's pretty much what it is. It's all freehand built. Newer houses today, they use trusses, and they don't last too long. They'll sag and they'll come apart. And this is all just built on site here. A lot of those trusses are just made in a factory, and they just ship them out to the job site and just staple them in. In fact, they were looking at the construction up there, and they said, man, this whole thing was just nailed together. It wasn't stapled. Yeah. Today, now they staple the houses together, and then they expect it to last a long time. That's why I probably will never own a new house, because they're just not built that well. Like this place had, wasn't quite old enough, so it had the old drywall, but I had to remove it. It was pretty much damaged beyond repair, so it was a complete gut job. So all the drywall in here is all new. So basically, when I got done restoring this place, it was like buying a new old house. The interior is new. I had to re-stucco and all that stuff. It was not fun at all. Okay. And then we got to build a little chimney too here. Oh, that's pretty cool. We use those round plates for the chimney. That looks really authentic. And then they use these Technic tubes to put on the top. We're almost out of parts, I just noticed. So there we go. And back to the main model here. And I'm just guessing, though, and you've heard me say it before, that I think bag 13 does this here. Alrighty, let me make sure my focus is on manual here. No, it's on auto. We don't want the camera to focus in two different points. And then that just sits on there like that. Now, putting that big thing on there is a problem. So now I'm going to have to open this up here real quick and make sure that all my joints are lined up. And which it's starting to buckle there. What do? I don't know. So this is going to be a bit of a, this is going to be a bitch to put in. There we go. Just have to wiggle that in there. And I'm just holding right here in the second row because that's what we're forcing down there. And see right there. And then I'm just going to take my hands, come in here and just kind of squish underneath this lip here where those teeth are at and just work that in really good. You want to make sure that's really bounded down, you know, make sure it's fixed. And that's pretty much what it looks like there. And for the most part, I like this roof. So you notice there's only another thing missing here is this area. So I have a feeling that's what bag 12 is going to offer, or bag 13, and that's what we have remaining for bag 12, so that's not too bad. Okay, so bag 13, what does that have to offer us? We got a minifigure and a dog, or that could be a goat. I don't know what that is. And then we're going to be focusing on this last corner here. I'm just checking here to see if we're building on site before I go in and start changing the focal points and things. And yeah, we're pretty much wrapping this up, putting the final tower on here, and send feedback. I'll send feedback, all right. This is a very happy build, so. Except for the minifigure we're going to have to build, we're focused here on this corner. So let me make sure here. Let me refocus here. Okay. And then now let's get started. So you may not see the parts really clear because I'm focused on that right there. Okay. I did get a question asked from a few of you guys and gals, where do you find the little spruce trees at? They're very rare, but look at that. Those are dark green, or earth green spruce trees. These are what I remember when I was a kid because they're quick and easy to put down on a base plate. Now, us Lego builders are getting pretty involved here. So we want to do that. And I think there's a flag in there too. Okay, well now let's get started on our last bag for this manual. And this will be the last part of the build I do for the day too. So let's move him out of the way here. This guy here, or this lady, actually has a bow. So start pulling all her accessories out. The last minifigure, and they want to start socking us with the hard stuff here. So now before we could do the fun stuff, I got to do the hard stuff. And she's got a double-sided head. There's the back side. And she's got that helmet thing that I got to find. I remember when I was a kid, we didn't have pearl silver, so now we got these where they look a little better. So, let me get that in her hand. I hate putting accessories in minifigure hands because it's almost impossible because the arm wants to move. And then that's it. And then we have a little goat figure here that I got to spend an hour trying to find. I think it's a goat. I don't know. It's probably buried in here under the rubble. Oh, here it is. Yes, that is indeed a goat. A little goat. I don't have any of those, so that goes with her. And now we can start doing the fun stuff. Yes, not the boring stuff anymore. Okay, so this will have to... Maybe I can get enough space up here to do this. I'm trying to get myself situated here where I can, get things going here. So this one I got to hold on to while I'm building. And all these big pieces, and I'm looking for medium stuff. At least it's not 1x1s. We need a 1x1 plate with lamp holder and brittle brown. Oh, that was easy to see. Not a lot of brittle brown in here. And some jumper plates, 1x3 jumper plates. And then we got to find that ladder and stick that ladder. Am I missing something there? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm jumping steps here. Using that there. That's a lot of brittle brown Lego. You're going to, and probably about a year from now, if somebody tries to take this apart, that's going to literally just disintegrate. It's going to vaporize, turn into powder. It'd just be poof. talking about the real magic happening. Now, is that going to be easy to put on there? I don't know. Let's see here. Okay, that's not too bad. And this goes right up here. We could have just built that on site, would have been better, huh? Okay, why doesn't that go down all the way? Is there something in there holding me up? There we go. Maybe it's just resting on one of the studs there. There we go. So we got the ladder installed. Oh wait, that's that special piece we put here with the magical wall, huh? So we could probably see this really function. Now, how do you open this up? I wonder if I can grab that and just pry this open. Yeah, there we go. So let's take a look here. So yeah, you could see how that's doing that there. Yeah, they really got that pretty seamless. Let's close that back up. There we go. Okay. So now back to this area here. So that's all we're doing for bag 13. Looks like we're just building a tower. Not sure if it's north, south, east, or west. Not really sure. And my friend Texas132, she said she probably is starting on bag 13 on hers, and she's been so busy she's never finished her castle yet, but she said it wasn't a boring build. So I took her word for it. And two, you know, just like with me, I'm really busy as well. So it's kind of a sad day when you're just busy doing lots of work, and may need to raise that up a bit more. And you just don't have time to get anything fun done. It's just like right now, this is my free time off. So for me, this is what I'm focusing on today. Why did I put that there? That's not supposed to go there. Let's go there. I wasn't paying attention. But a lot of us, including myself, just don't have the time to build Lego. I don't know how these guys do it, but I think they do it as a full-time job. They just do Lego full-time. They get up out of bed. This is the first thing they do until they go to bed. I'm sorry. I did that with computers and I messed that up. Okay. All right, more stuff, huh? Working back on that side. So that's why that part of the roof was left open, was to accommodate the towers. Huh. I'll have to build this castle in Minecraft one day. Just go for it and see what it does. All right. Yeah, so far so good. Haven't really majorly messed up. Just kind of mistakes here and there that I've done, but nothing major. Let me get these minifigures over here, because I'm looking for those squashed bricks. I'm going to use Lego's term, a squashed 1x1 brick. There we go. Where's those squashed, like 1x2 bricks? Those always come in handy. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking for small pieces, so forgive me here. If you don't, if you want to, just feel free. You can fast forward a bit. All right. Okay, now we're on step 246. It is not a... These bags don't really contain a whole bunch of parts. It's just... I mean, like, most of this is gray, so it's kind of getting kind of dull here. Okay, there was supposed to be a piece here I forgot to put in. Well, I can't find that one. Now see, all I'm looking for right now, I'm tripping over 1x2s and 1x4 bricks, but what am I looking for? Really tiny stuff like this. That's kind of where I'm kind of get a little frustrated, because it's like I want to build with the big stuff. Okay, now I can let me see here. Where did I leave off at here? We just put that in here, went around here. Okay, I'm on step 246. Okay. And we got some profiles here. Well, we're obviously getting close to the top because we're sticking the round tiles in there. Now, this thing's got complete scaled passageways. So obviously here's the entryway to the little cottage. In fact, you could transplant that and put that on a nice, like on a prairie, would look pretty cool. All right, I think that's it. It shows tiles. Oh, I see where the tiles go. Maybe that's the bell tower, I don't know. Maybe this thing does have a bell tower. I thought maybe I saw it when I was skimming through the book, but I don't know. I do see some gold pieces in here, so maybe there could be a bell tower. All right, let's start over here first. Lego, make a 1x2x2 corner profile brick would be pretty cool. That point. Back in the day, though, we had to use slopes to give us that whole thing. There was no such thing as plates with bow. We had to just go for it. And now I got to make 4 of these little things that I got to find here. And I'm just going to build and place them because it'd just be better to declutter now. And then they go in here like that, so maybe that's the bell tower for the church. Maybe that's where the chaplain lives, we don't know. At first I thought that was going to be those kids' quarters. It could still be. Oh, that's right. Perm Boy's quarters. Actually, I have a buddy that has the heavily curly hair, and he does that haircut. And he goes, that's the only haircut, the only hairstyle that works with it, with his hair. And he goes, people think it's fake because kids are getting the curly hair. And I said, well, difference is you're a grown man, and 2, you got a reason to get that haircut. If he doesn't keep it tamed up, it gets to be like a big old cheese puff. It's really froey. I'm like, yeah, that's one thing I'm glad. I always wanted to try a perm just to see, you know, really. But then again, yeah. I heard the guys with the froey hair, like, I want to know what it's like to have straight hair. I'm like, yeah, it gets, mine's is just fine, and it just flops down. You know, that kind of thing. Okay, now we're smooth tiling off the top of this tower over here. Wait a minute, maybe that's not supposed to go there. Yeah, I mean, so far, that's a little bit off right there. Probably a difference in bricks, but yeah. So far, though, I am just mesmerized, happy about this build. And this guy's going to come speeding back down the street. I mean, the street's only about 50, 60 yards. And that's exactly what he's doing. Jay, why is gas so expensive? I'm like, well, you tell me. how do I save money? I just don't go blowing it on gas. Don't waste it. Okay. So far, so good. I think this one's done here. Now we're going to be focusing on this tower here. And, okay, we're using the scrolly things on these right above here. That's a good way to fill those holes in, too. And then we're just going to work our way around here. Oh, well, that doesn't go there. That's a round brick. Because after I get done with this, I got to do a thumbnail for this guy. Then I got to do another thumbnail for the set I'm supposed to be working on. And then I got to finish up the last installment on that guy before I can call it done. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I'm jumping too far here. Okay, now these little arch bricks go on the top. Okay. And then profile bricks. You notice I'm going to have to go up even higher. I mean, yeah, guys and gals, this thing's growing. It is growing. I don't know how, but it is. It's growing. It's getting out of control. We need to tame it down. It is just a big build. Indeed, I was right. It's a bell tower. We're going to put a bell in here. Okay, well, let's get started on the bell. And I think that is a gold... I think it goes in backwards. Yeah, it shows it all the way up at the top there. I don't have any of these little inverted dome pieces in pearl gold. So, oh, the bell will do to warm the, and I got a glare I cannot read on that. The bell will do to warm the townsfolk if the Wallflock wanderers should one day, mourners should one day return. Yeah. Well, you're not going to really be mourning if the, if this brittle brown breaks, huh? And if anybody ever makes fun of me because I can't read out loud very well, then I'll stop doing those commentaries. All right. So they have a 1-to-1 thing in here. I don't know how far those are going to go in. So don't use these. There's one that has them on opposite sides. And then I don't think this bell is meant to be functional. So the bell now goes right in the center here. And it would just be better to resize it in here. Now I'm just going to twist it. And twist and turn. And as for the bell being off-centered, well, I can center that right back up in there. And you can barely see the bell inside this tower, too. So it's just... I mean, it's barely visible, but, you know, hey, we're cool. Gotta warn the townsfolk, huh? Okay. Back to the bell tower. And that's not too bad. And then we put these corner pieces here. So you must have some decorative trim that's going to go around this here, maybe. Maybe some decorative trim. And I think there's some that go around here. Yeah, it's these regular ones too. You can tell we were using lots here. We weren't going to use custom pieces for that, huh? And... yeah, I was trying to get my friend to go up to the snow, and she didn't want to go. I mean, they got literally feet of snow. I said, "Don't you want to go skiing and snowboarding and stuff?" No. Like, I'll have to buy me a snowboard if we did. Okay, so this one here is a little different, and I'm going to build this on site. I'm assuming that these studs are going to sit inside these tubes. So I'm just going to put it up here just for for instruction's sake here. And then that's where we'll start there. The reason why I'm doing that is just to make it easy for me, because I don't want to have to hold on to that. I already read ahead, so I don't have to flip anything around. And we're just about done here. I got those spruce trees left. Maybe that's where the trees go. Maybe that's the Christmas tree lot. Go buy a you have to go on top of the bell tower to get a tree for Christmas. Yeah, this is a good set for building when it's raining outside or something. Okay, this is not quite centered there. But that is exactly where they told me to put that, so that's where I'm going to put it. Okay. And yeah, let me wiggle that in there. Well, I only got one more profile brick left. Or it could be another. Oh, I see another one there. We'll stick. Now let's work our way around here. They got this holder, and this holder faces inside. And before I get myself too bunched in here, trying to put this in between two bricks will be kind of challenging for me. So I'm going to put the other one in real quick here, like that. And then I'm going to work my way back out. So starting with the profile brick and put that there like that. Okay. Then we flat tile, or we do a bunch of bows on the top here to smooth that out. Now, why don't they flat tile the inside of that? I don't know. Probably leave it more like cobble. And we have a bunch of 1x1 half round tiles. I'm assuming they're probably going to go around here. We will find out eventually if they do fit in there. Okay. So far, so good, huh? You've actually got a better view than I do this time. Okay. And we need 12 of these, 3 on each side. So yeah, that's going to be very fun. Matter of fact, we should have put these on here first before we did the roof or the tower. In fact, how does one get up on there anyways? They have to fly up there? Wingardium Leviosa. Yeah, where's Harry Potter at to do that, huh? Maybe that's the Harry Potter tower where he can use Wingardium Leviosa and levitate himself up there. Or whoever he wants to put up there for the day to kind of... maybe that's the timeout tower. So if Harry Potter is annoyed by you, he'll just use Wingardium Leviosa and he'll put you right on top of that tower. And that'll be the end of that. And make sure your tiles are facing down. Yes, so far I am pleased. Even if I were to buy this myself, I don't feel like I wasted time building this set. Oh, there's that little sheep. Goat, whatever that is. A bunch of my Lego buddies are collecting animal figures, so I'm starting to do the same too. Kind of missed out on some of the other animals, so I'm kind of on the prowl for those. Okay, so now we are working on landscaping. Before we do, let's add the chimney. There's a chimney somewhere in here. I think that's where it's going to go there. So we're just going to do it right here live. And kind of get that going there. Yeah, so if you're thinking about getting this set, you're not going to be, well, except for the parts kind of getting attached to my hands, but you're not going to be disappointed with the build quality. just that one instance with the door. Other than that, it seems pretty strong. I mean, we wouldn't want to drop this on a tile or concrete floor, even a carpeted floor. And then the spruce tree goes down here. One of them does. So it goes right there. And we have to put in a bunch of flags. So we got to make some flags here out of these. And I do remember these type of flags when I was a kid. They've been around for so long. You know? Yeah. Was I heavy into castles? Not really. I think I mentioned that in another video, but I just was never into castles. Although this one here probably will be the exception, because it's not too bad of a build. If it was that gray one, if I had to redo and get that gray one, that'd be a fun little build exploration too. And this flag goes. It shows it there. Ooh, that's going to be tough. I don't think that opens up there too. Alrighty. There's your flags. It shows it like this. Okay. And now we get to open this one up here. I think that's cloth. Maybe get a couple of those in there. At least I can recycle that. See if I can get some. Oh, we got a cape and some flags. Okay, not too bad. I need this one here right now. And take the spear piece and okay, want to go like that. Then one of these handles, a light sword handle, and one of these sticks. And then it goes on the tower that we cannot see here. Okay, and then it goes, oh, it goes inside of here. Right in that clip inside of here that we put in earlier. So, there you go. Oh, at least it moves when you blow on it, huh? And let's read here. These dank pines are refreshing. They've never been such a dark shade of green before. These dank pines? No, dark pines. Oh, I'm going to need to get my eyes checked. These dark pines are refreshing. Okay, we got to come in here. Now we're going to be... I bring the camera up. I bring the camera down. And we have to do a bunch of landscaping now in here. So we have to make 4 of these. So before we do the flower or the pines, we're going to start placing a bunch of these in here. You need to put one here, a regular stud flower there. Okay, so far so good, right? We're getting there. Okay. First I thought it said dank pines. And then there's one right here. And what we're going to do now is stick the tree here. Looks like it barely fits there. No, it does. Okay, and there's another one that goes here. Okay, takes care of that. And okay, so the merchant's cart, I gotta find that as I have it in a container. I've been storing a lot of my stuff in these containers, my professional sorting trays, and These, I don't know what they go to yet, so I think they're meant for something else. And it goes here. So I think this is meant to just be removed if you want to. When I do the tour, I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm not going to remove any of this stuff. Okay. That's meant to be removable if you choose. And that's it. We're moving to bag or book 2. So that means manual 1 is fully done. That means we're halfway there. And here's the remaining bits for bag 13. So, summation of the project. How's my build experience so far? Pretty good. And as you can see there's a lot of passageways and stuff. I kind of wish there was a door on this here. It's just left open, so I don't know why. And opening this thing up is, you got this little area here. It's kind of wiggly. Or you can just stick your fingers in here and just do this to open that up. So yes, it's pretty self-contained. In the back of the box it looks open, but no, this is, if I close this right now, the only thing open is here. That's left open. And, well, that's about it. So it's pretty self-contained. So even if I stopped right now, am I happy with the build? Yes, I am. So, yeah, I would say that this is a winner here. So far, this looks fun. Why wasn't this around when I was a kid? I don't know. But yeah, working water wheels and all that stuff. So this is solid. We're halfway done. So stay tuned for the next installment.